Hello gang, and welcome back to the Cinders Cup test number 2. That's right, you can check out my episode right now and all the other great content creators in the series. Their links are in the description down below. Now you'll have to forgive me, I am recovering from a throat infection which has seen me lose my voice this week, and I've got a really sore throat when it comes to swallowing, laughing, talking, coughing, everything. It just kills. But we're going to try and get through this together today. So we've got some rules, and we've got a fair few rules to get through in this one. It's a tough challenge today, what we've got in this second test. We're going to be working out of the South Bank region, which is the region that I am working in on the map. So I've made it a little bit tougher for myself and for everyone with the routes that I've already set up on the map itself. So the starting date for this test is the 1st of January 1880, and we go through till November in 1882. We only have $20 million to use, and there's no loans taken. We also have to purchase a train for the Collaborating government out of that, and it's a specific train with specific carriages and an amount, and it's going to equate to about $3.3-ish million. We'll get to that later. We'll get to more of these rules in the episode so I can show you just what we have to do. We basically have to build a mainline track that goes from South Bank all the way to Cambridge, and I'll show you where that is, and with stops at stations along the way if we go past those towns. Now we'll get into more of that, and we'll get into what exactly we have to do with the stations as well, because there's rules on rules on rules in this challenge. So without further ado, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, because we have a lot of moving parts to get into. I am carrying a $1 million penalty into this, and we'll get into that a little bit later too. But today, welcome to the Cinders Cup test number 2. Okay, gang, so here we are. Welcome to today's episode. I do apologize for my voice at the moment. I am running a brand new microphone and headset too, so it's a shame that I can't actually fully explore the depths of this brand new microphone, but it's very nice and I'm enjoying it. It's nice. You can check out all my build and all the equipment I use. There's a link in the description down below as well. All right, team, we're not here to talk about my gear. We're here to talk about this test today. Now, it's a tough one. Basically, if we just have a look here, I want to tell you, this is South Bank here. So this is where we're working out of. And the last episode that I did, we'd punched in a heap of quirky sort of lines to get some money made and produced and to get things flowing on the map. Well, today we have to basically take the line here that hasn't been extended. It's sort of just stopped dead here outside of South Bank. And we have to take this line and we have to plug it in all the way up here into Cambridge. Now, how we do that is up to our own devices, but here's what the Collaborating government has said, and here's what we have to abide by for this playthrough. So we're required to build rail stations at all towns along the route. The minimum standard required is 2 platforms by 160, or 2 by 160 PAX platforms, and 1 by 160 freight platform at each town that we pass through and that we have to stop at. Okay, so I've got a little trick that we're going to try and work through on that today. It's going to be tough for me to try and get through all of this. With the sort of rules are very difficult to get through, but it does become quite simple later. We also need to set up at least one new freight route along the way on our new main line that we use. You can split it off and use it, so we have to do that as well. And we know how unforgiving early on days freight and passengers can be. So what the government has said here is they've given us $20 million to do this with no loans. So our main line must also have a track speed of 60 kilometers an hour on all corners and turnouts. I don't exactly know what a turnout is, but I'm just going to try and abide by that the best I can. Make sure that our track is over that 60 kilometer an hour limit on all our bends and stuff, and I'm just going to try and abide by that. When it comes to sort of freight stuff, when we have to do back ends and back outs, there's going to be a bit slower turnarounds there. Not going to be helped. It is what it is sometimes, but I'm going to try and abide by that the best I can. Now, we're required to build stations at all along. Yes, we've got that. Here's the bit that I need to let everyone know. We need to establish, so the government wants us to establish a passenger service between South Bank and Cambridge, right? Using any stations also that we have to stop in along the way. Now that could mean that if we set up a line that follows all the way around here, past Bewdley, up past Minehead and into Cambridge, that would mean we have to put stations at all of these places all the way along and stop there. I'm going to try and be a little bit cheeky today and think outside the box and try and get us to stop it, not stop at as many as we can. If I can limit that to maybe one stop along the way to Cambridge, I think we're doing a good job. And I think I've got the idea on how we got to do that. Now, the government has also said that we need to provide a train as well out of our $20 million budget that we've got. So what we have to buy is, we have to buy 1 Baldwin and 6 by Russo Bolt carriages, right? It costs about $3.3 million. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to purchase it from here just so it's done. So we have to buy 1 Baldwin class, add that, and passenger wagons, Russo Bolt, 6 of these. Yep, 3.327 million. Also, we need to make sure that it's got that on there. We're going to buy that now. And it is done and it is sitting in there and it is ready to go. So that is what we're left with for our build today. Okay, gang, I can go through some more of the rules and stuff as we go. That's pretty much the crux of it. We've got to build from here to Cambridge. Any towns that we pass, we have to put that specific station in, at least 162 passenger and 1 freight station. We have to make sure that all our corners and bends are at least 60 or higher in terms of kilometers an hour. We can show that there is a time speed here. You can see an overlay and you can see exactly how fast turnarounds and how lines are. You can use this tool here. It's a very handy little tool. Now we are quite low down here. I'm not really worried about height too much. I've got a specific build in mind. And as I said, we have to somehow build a freight line that's going to make us money. Because remember, the person with the most income at the end is going to have or the most company value at the end is going to be the winner. So currently, we're going to check this now. And we're not going to check it until we get to the 10th of November, 1882. Okay, so we're a fair way off that. We're currently at a value of 125,318,909. Okay, we've got to beat that. Okay, that's just what it comes down to. Plus, don't forget at the end of it, I have to also take $1 million off. I have $1 million penalty, and we'll get into that a little bit later. I know I keep saying that, but I will show you right now. We're going to focus on our build. So first things first, I'm actually going to start up here. I'm going to do something quite easy. My build today is going to consist of pretty much every vehicle you can think of. I'm going to do this. We're going to keep this flat as we go as well. Okay. So we're just going to keep this nice and flat through here. Now this, because it's such a low height down here, we're looking at about 17 meters height down here at this station. So we don't want to be running too all over the place here. I could probably save a little bit of money by letting the game sort of do what it wants here. It's not actually a bad idea if I kind of do that. We can sort of take you about there. I can come up a little bit because I'm going to have to come up a little bit from the other end anyway. If you go there. Now, when it comes to this here, I've got to make sure that we can. You're looking good, 102, 102. I'm just trying to keep within that 60 kilometer. Now, we don't have to double track everything. That is not a requirement. Double tracking everything is not a requirement. And I will be honest, I will not be double tracking. I will not be double tracking the passenger line all the way here. The other thing also I have to do is I have to make sure that the bus route in town here at Cambridge actually has some buses. So we're going to go ahead right now. We're going to buy, now I'm doing myself a disservice here. I'm going to buy 2 of these. They are 28,000 each. That's 56 straight off the bat. I'm going to set them on South Bank and not worry about those anymore. That's the line there, the South Bank, by the way. That's the South Bank line. There's South Bank Cambridge bus F8, right? That's that one. You can see that there. Okay, so that's now going to have two of those new motorized vehiculars. Right, now we have to basically, what I'm going to do here is we've got to wend our way around this headlands here and probably tuck underneath. We're going to try and tuck underneath here, around the back of the logging place and around the side of this mountain. And then I'm going to kind of leave it from there because we're going to then have to marry up from this end over to here. Now I'm going to skip out Minehead and I'm going to try and skip out Brighton, but we're probably going to have to put a station at Bewdley, and I'll show you why. That's going to be our one stop that we're going to probably have to work with. So let's get around this headland first, and I'll show you why we're doing things the way we are. Like that, 49,000. What do we think about that? 100,000, I can take that. All right, 100,000 I'll do. I'm going to try and keep out around this sort of bank here without cutting the ground too much and without trying to cause too many tunnels to keep our costs down. Oh, 36, 31, 30, 30. I'll take that right there. Which, you know, you can take a good price there, but it might set you up for a bad price later on. So you just have to be wary of where you're following around. This corner here is going to be quite hard. Let's just, we'll get all this in first, and then we'll just come back and double check our speeds calculator. So we're going to try and come around here. Let's come to about there. And we're looking at 65 still, so that's good. We're going to try and cut to about there. And then we're going to try and take a shallow cut here. Now we are going to probably have to take a little bit of a hurt there. I can just sort of get a little bit more there. Might be able to get you costing less, but we're underneath that speed. Got to get you to the 60 at least. I'll take 61. That's still 200,000. So you're better off taking that bridge. So hang on, that's 60 there at 170. Take that. And that should be us through the worst of it. All right, let's have a look at our speeds for our line here now, just to make sure we're okay. So we'll come down here first, 66, 66, we're looking pretty good there, looking good there, 65's there, and we've got 60 just here. We are on the limit right here, but hey, that's within the rules, and it's within the rules. Now, we want to try and take this line and tuck it right along the side of this road here to give ourselves the best chance to tuck underneath that area just there, right there. That's where we want to tuck under, and we want to make a turn up. Am I going to be able to get you? No. See if I can just pull this back a little bit and do, oh, well, actually it's no, it'll be fine. Just make sure you got your speeds fine. 82, 82, keep that down low. We're just going to have to suck it up because I need to try and, I've got a whole budget here. We've got other trains to buy. I've got a whole slew of things we need to worry about here. Now, I'm going to try and, I'm going to just leave that there for a sec. We're going to come from the other way here shortly. Right. What we're going to do here is I'm going to take myself a road. Now, our freight is going to work in two directions now because we want to do two directions because why? Because freight is expensive to run. If you're running it in one direction, you're not going to make any money on it, right? So premise for this is we already have grain heading over to here to South Bank, right? But the trouble is we're not getting enough grain. Yeah, you need 2 grain to 1 food. We've got a consumption of 348. We've got none stored, right? So it means South Bank could definitely use a little shot in the arm when it comes to how much grain is there. So we're going to utilize this farm, which is doing nothing, to take grain into South Bank. This is where it gets cheeky because there's not real, and because you use grain wagons for the trains, we don't really have anything in South Bank, ore-wise or grain-wise, to take out back over to Bewdley. Or do we? Well, there's a coal mine sitting here that we could just send some trucks to trundle on down and take that ore into Bewdley and we'd be done with it. Or we can do something really cheeky. And we can get this ore to go down into a port, send that port with the coal around to here, where some will go into South Bank and South Bank will start getting fuel. And then what we're going to do is we're going to send the rest back on our grain train into Bewdley Station, where it stops off and feeds Bewdley coal or Bewdley fuel with the coal. So that's what we're going to do with this build. And I'm hoping to gosh that this is going to work out. Now, this is where the build starts to get quite tricky. Now, I want this height because I want to be at a height of around, I think 20 is going to be good. I think that's our height there. Now, the reason why I'm putting this in here is because I want the station to be able to talk to all people concerned. So that's our coal, our fuel station here, and our farm here. Now, I'm thinking this is close enough, right? This is going to be close enough that Bewdley does require a stop. However, when I bring the train line around, I'm going to try and bypass Brighton and cut through about here into our train station there. So making us far enough away in my books from Brighton that it doesn't require a passenger station just yet. Later on, we could probably get at one and all that sort of jazz. But for now, we have to go with 160 by 2. I'm going to add a third one here because I can then configure it. And if we have a look at that, we can actually talk to there. Where's the furthest way that I can have you plugged in and not talking? Well, it's there. But what I can actually do is have you about there. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is I'm leaving myself plenty of turn circle here. So we're not going to hit a problem with when we're turning to head our line down the coastline here, which we're going to have to marry up with that. We'll get to that shortly. Now, are we too low here? And here's the other thing. We still have to configure this to put our freight on here, right? So we'll just get one of these in and we'll get another one of those in. And we also have to get a cargo building on here. Now, the cargo building, I'm actually just going to plop it about there. And that's going to talk to that right now. It's a bit horrible putting cargo on that side, but I don't really care for the moment. For this build, for what we're doing, it really doesn't matter. I've got to take out this road here because that's not going to work for me at the moment. It might have to be put back in shortly once we sort out the track. Okay, now this is going to be the tricky part. We've got 13 million to play with. I've got to get some ships in. I've got to buy I want to have at least 2 trains with 70 capacity each. And so we've got a lot of budgeting to do here. We also have to buy vehicles. We're going to have to buy vehicles that send from here down to there. And we're also going to have to buy vehicles for the port, for the train station just here as well, for Bewdley and train station, right? Let's worry about our main line first and try and get this in. Now, it's going to be a bit of a difficult build, but quite straight away, I want to make sure I get that. In fact, I'm going to have to come from this way first, I think. So we're going to take this up, straight up here. And I don't mind keeping it at that grade, keeping it at a 1. I mean, we've got these fantastic grade tools on here and stuff as well, which are just brilliant. But I like to keep it at about 1 click upgrade when it comes to freight trains and most trains early on in the game. Now we're looking at here. Now I know the height's there, but we're looking at about 46 meters there. And over here, we're looking at about 19. So we don't really want to come up much higher than that. However, the higher up we are over here, the cheaper it is to put a tunnel in there, because the less land you have to tunnel through, the cheaper it is in the long run. So we're going to now, we want to make our turn about here. So come up a little bit further for me. We'll do it with the 1 first. Okay, so you're going to want to come, I want you to come like fairly flat for us there. And then you're going to come about there. Now you're looking at 617, that's better than 1 million, but I need you to start coming down. 716. Feel about that. And 914. Ooh. Can we get you cheaper? Not really. You're going to cost us a bit of money to get what we want. Okay. Do we just, well, we just take that. That's got to happen. All right. So next thing we need to do here, actually need to be a bit cheeky with this. I want to see if I can first, normally you can't feed a road under these. They don't like it. Oh, but it's going to let us. So that's actually quite good. I'll take that because then I can build the rest of the rail over it. But I'm going to need to have some turnaround space here as well. So I need to take that back and we're going to need to do this. All right. I'm going to need to go like that because I'm going to need some area for our freight and everything to turn around and do what it's got to do, and vice versa. I'm going to need that built up with a bit of land like that too. I don't know what's... Okay, we can get you, lowest is 64 there. I don't know if we need to make our split offs there at a higher speed. I don't know what the deal is with that. If I have that there, we still need a way for the trains. Right. Now, our station is talking to both of these, and that's exactly what we want there. Right, next, let's get, we're going to keep this fairly simple. We're going to have a bus stop there and a bus stop here. We're not going to worry about the passengers too much. Our requirement is to just make sure the passengers can get there, and we will do that. Now, next. That's quite horrible. Okay, all right, fix this road. Now, I could have that run over that, but I'm not going to. What are you? It's because the hill goes there. Am I going to be able to tunnel you under? Good question, well asked. And the answer is yes for 120,000. Oh man, that's expensive. It's not pretty at all. It is not pretty at all, but you know what? I only care about rail. I care naught for the roads. Roads can go and bend one for all I care. Right, I'm going to do something here. we have to get this talking to a port down here. So we're going to go and buy the port now. We've got to start making sure we can afford all the things we need to do. We're going to simply plug you in there. I'm going to give you a little cheeky road to talk to you there. Luckily for us, we can actually set a beautiful little route just here that's just going to be small and do exactly what we need it to do. Very, very cheeky. Now, I could actually have you... You're just going to be better to be there, I think, like that. In fact, I wonder if you'd be... It's cheaper to run you on this side, I think, like that. Just going to get you to go there. Okay, I'm going to get you to do that. Buildings-wise, I'm going to take this one here. And you're going to go to there for me. Like I said, very, very cheeky little section. That road only had to talk to it. That's why it doesn't really matter. It was expensive for what it did. I'm just going to get you to turn up here. Plug back in there so you can do a nice little turnaround for us. Right, this line here. We're going to call this, now it is known as, it is the SB. SB what? Bude Port Coal Mine. Oh, coal. I'm just going to leave it at that. Coal delivery via truck. Okay. We'll do that. We'll call it that. Okay. That's that line. Done, in and done. We also have to put in this little building here very cheaply. We have to buy some vehicles for it. Now, we don't need a lot of vehicles for it. We can probably just get away with, I'll put 4 on for the moment. Four's quite a lot. Actually, we'll just go 3. Only just a short little route there. And I'm going to set you guys on SB Bude Port Coal, right? And then I'm going to go like this. Hey, manage that line. Buddy, don't worry about waiting too long. Full and any load, please, to drop off down to there. Now that's going to give us 102 rate at 36 seconds. I might buy another truck and put it on. We still have to get our connection down here. I kind of want to do that before I do anything else. But I also want to buy my trains, and I want to buy my trains. And want to buy my ships before I plug in the rest of the rails so I know what I'm working with. Why don't you do it the other way around? That's not how we're going to work. Now, I don't need vehicles for here. I could use some more vehicles there, but I'm not going to at the moment. I tell you what. Get this line sorted because we are going to single track here anyway. We're not going for double track for the rest of the way, so I'm not really concerned with it. I want to keep you flat because we're going to skip over that way, straight over to there. We should be able to get this in fairly cheap. Once we skip over the top of this area, like that, we should be able to get this in fairly cheap. Now, we've got a section here. As long as I keep you above 60, like that, that should satisfy that. So our main line has the ability to go up and down, pull in at the station. We've satisfied that need. I'm going to be keeping you flat. What height are you at there? You are at like about 20-ish meters, which is fine. We'll go around the back side of this fella here. 117. We're gonna need about 5.5 million for our trains, I think. Plus, we're gonna need $1 million for 5.5. So we need about 6.6 million for trains and for ships. Right? We looking here. I'd say pretty good. Oh, we're close. We're close. Let's see what that's going to cost us. 1.2 million. That's going to cut it really fine as to what we need to buy, Ham. Can I make that cheaper? The answer will be yes. Potentially. Do I care about the fact that that's going to be a bit roller coaster in the tunnel? Not really. Because you can't see in the tunnel. All you see is tunnel. There's a bit of a snake there. Are you okay with that? Not really, but we've got bare minimum cash, and I've still got to buy the trucks for here too. Right. Buy me. We're just going to buy passenger one of these for Bewdley, and I haven't set that line up yet. Okay, so new line from there to there. I can't imagine this being a hugely popular line, but we're going to go SB. Right, and we're going to go Bewdley Packs main line. Okay, we're going to keep it just simple. I'm not going to go too crazy with the naming convention of it. Now, to just denote my episode, I'm going to keep all my lines green and black. Green and black? Yep. I'm going to keep all my lines green and black today. All my passenger lines I'm going to keep green, just so it's easier for Stephen to do what he's got to do at the end of it. And I'm just going to do that. Okay, so you there, buddy. No, you there, buddy. Hey, you go on SB Bewdley Packs mainline. Okay. Now we've satisfied the needs there. That's all we've done. That's all we've had to do. We've still got 6.8 in the bank. We still have to also build a little depot in here, which I'm actually going to do something cheeky here. And plug it in. I was going to plug it in just here. No, hang on. Before we do that, you know what I actually want to do? I want to get my mainline line going. So once again, color it green. So we're going from here. We're backing up into there. We're bypassing that. We're pulling into here. We're then coming all the way up to Cambridge, where it has to turn around in here with this beautiful section that Stephen's just built just not long ago, ready for this test. So you can, I think he's got a video for that you can check out. And if he hasn't, then I'm sure it'll be coming at some point. But it's a nice little build. It's a really tidy, nice little build, and I really like it. Right, so we're coming back through here. Now I don't know if I need to tell them to come back through here, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Sure, you can take that one. Do whatever you want. Comes back around. We're going to stop back in here at Bewdley. Bang, just like that. And that line is working an absolute dollop, except you don't have any way to get back over where you're supposed to, which is why we need you talking here, don't we? Okay, what if we take it from here as close as we can there? Hey, 60. I don't care. I'm taking it. That's a small win for me. And it means that our main line still cracks on through there, so that's fine. If I was going to lay this track better, which I can now see how I'd do it better, but budget constraints aside, I'm not going to do it. But I would lay in the two main lines in the main line in with the two lines first, and then put my freight one off it. But because of our budget constraints today, I'm not going to worry about it. And it also, it's quite acceptable. There's no derailments. There's no lumpy business. There's no roller coasting. It's just switches. Okay, it's switches that satisfy the need of 60 kilometers an hour. And I don't know if that's a thing we have to do, but it's a thing that I'm doing. And yeah, we're doing it. Right, I'm looking for a spot here because I want my freight trains now. Oh, by the way, we can actually say to this train when it's ready to go, hey, buddy, guess what? You're going to be on line 1. And that line 1, we actually have to label that line 1. We have to line it, SB. Oops. This one here. SB. Main line. Okay. Main line. 2 words. I don't know. Who cares? South Bank Main Line. Right. Stopping at all stations. This is your Captain Ham speaking. Right. Anyway, that's it. That's the South Bank Main Line. So we've satisfied that need for the Calabrian government of getting in their main line. I think we've satisfied the fact that we've totally bypassed Brighton. They don't need that. We've also pulled into Bewdley, which I think is acceptable. We've also satisfied giving them passengers. And we're in at Cambridge, where we have also given Cambridge some vehicles. I would like to give them maybe 2 more, but budget at the moment. We have to now, I've been looking at this for ages. I'm thinking about just pulling the train in off here. I need to stop procrastinating and just get it done. I'm just going to do that because all we actually have to do is use this thing here. I'm going to go with no. I'm just going to plug this in like that, right? I'm going to buy my trains from it. There's no rule to say I can't. I can, and I'm going to. So for us today, we're going to keep this fairly middle of the road and use these Russian class GVs, right? It's a freight one, right? We could go something cheaper again, which is like this, the Type 1, which is 500. It's a cheaper running cost. It's got less tractive effort. We need just a little bit more tractive effort for that power, I think. And tractive effort to get up these hills, and the kilowatts and tractive effort are going to help us up and down these inclines. So we're going to go with the GV. We want 2 of, by the way. Cargo-wise, we're going with this gondola. Take 7 of. And it's we're just going to go with it. It's a shorter one. We can probably get more on for what we need. And we're going about 70 capacity is what I want. And that's going to cost us $5.4 million. Now, what's that going to leave me with? It's going to leave me with 1.2 in the bank. Okay. 1.3. We've got a little bit of wiggle room. Not much, but we still have to buy. No, we've bought our vehicles for you, haven't we? Oh, you bloody legend, Ham. Okay, we might need 1 more for that. I don't know yet. Okay, let's get our line in. Let's talk about the line here. We're going to need, because the freight has to give way to the main line, we're actually going to put that there. Yep. Yep. We're going to leave that. That actually has to go there, but I don't want to put that there because that will make the passengers wait for the freight, and I don't want to put that there. I don't need to. The lines have already decided that it's what it's got to do. Let's go new line. I'm gonna give the naming convention now. I'm gonna color this black as well. We'll call it SB, and it's I've gone with the wrong bracket. SB, and this is grain coal. Bewdley grain coal. Bewd grain and coal train. Okay. Now you're thinking to yourself, Ham, how are you going to make this happen? It's not going to work. I hear the doubters, and that's okay. I'm here to reassure you. You've got nothing to worry about. We're going to pull into here. What station are you going to pull in for me? Whatever you're comfortable with, game, you pull into. We've got to reverse out there. And then that's it. And we're double tracking all the way up until we splits off into here. No. So after Bewdley, I need you to come around. Let's set up a waypoint. Now we could tell it to just come through that signal, but Stephen's very stickler for his waypoints, and he's using the right signals and all that sort of hoo-ha and jazz. So we're going to use the waypoints. I never use them. I just use the signal to send the train through the signal. If Stephen's okay with that, I'll do it in the future. But we're going to say, hey, you got to come through here, buddy. Right? And bing, bing, bada, boom. We're all working beautifully. And then our train there has to wait. I didn't need this track here. What have I done there? Oh, okay. Yeah, I've completely done that. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. It's in now. I could probably get a little bit more money back. It doesn't matter. Parramatta and our 2 trains that are going to be sitting in the station here, I'm going to send them off one at a time. But first, what I have to do is tell them, manage that line. I'm going to say, hey, okay, so at South Bank Port Freight. Now, this is where it gets important. Stephen put a community post up not long ago. If you want to check out Stephen's community post, go to his channel, check out the community posts where he's written this. And it's very important, and it has to do with these loads, right? So we're going to set this load. We're not going to just drop it to minimum, which we do a lot. We're going to set it to about 60 seconds. And for important reasons, and I'll show you why, we're going to go full load any, okay? That's when it pulls into South Bank Port here. Right, we're going to go 60 seconds because what's going to happen is when our ships drop off the coal, some of it's going to go here, some of it's going to drop on here. When the trains are coming in with a minimum stop time of 10 seconds, they've only got time to drop off the grain and pick up a little bit of coal and back out. So they're not going to pick up a full or as much coal as they possibly can in that 10-second minimum maximum stop time. So we're going to go 60 seconds here. Gives it time to drop the grain off, gives it time to pick the coal up, keeping it still at a short drop-off time, and then it's going to go out with its load and take back. Okay, so that's very important we do that. At Bewdley, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to say, hey, I want you to take any full load, and you can wait maybe a little less time because you're not, you're dropping it. We're going to go 50 seconds there. Okay, so that's what we're going to do with those. The other thing we're going to do is down here at South Bank Port Freight, we're going to go, hey, we're going to tell you that you have to load that and you have to unload grain, okay? And then at Bewdley, we're going to say, hey, I want you to load grain and unload coal, all right? And keeping it at 100%, all right? So that's the parameters. Over here, it doesn't matter. It's not going to be dropping anything. That's that station up there. So grain at Bewdley, coal at South Bank Port, okay? Right? Very, very important we get that locked in and loaded. Next, we're going to need to set up a line that goes from here around to here. We're going to be keeping this one black as well. We're going to be calling it SB. Very similar. Bewdley coal ships. Now, these are only going to be taken one way, but the distance isn't too bad. That it's not going to hurt us too much, okay? We're also going to say full load at any minimum stop times, okay? Okay, and then it doesn't matter, but I'm going to say at Upper Bewdley, actually, I'm going to force you to say, hey, I want you to take the coal. The rest, I don't care, okay? If you end up bringing something back, more power to you. You're not going to, but just more power to you. So we know that this stop here talks to that one. We know that that one talks to that one. We've got vehicles on it. We're going to have to now, with 1.3, buy some ships. We have to put in a thing. I'm going to put it, it's going to be fairly cheap. 134, we can do better. I think over here looks like it'll be fairly cheap. We can get something in. 46,000. Bing, bada, boom. Buy me. We're just going to go 2 riggies. That's 1.1 million. Set those on SB Bewd coal ship. Right? We've got 217,000 in the bank. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be kind. No, I'm not. I'm not going to be kind. I already can tell if we've got stuff on the deck here that these trucks here are going to be overloaded at South Bank. So my priority here is going to be probably getting them another couple of trucks, to be honest. What do you got? 16 on there. What's it going to cost to replace them with? They're currently using these at 5, are they? Well, these only have 5 too, so it doesn't matter. Okay. Then get me a couple there. I still might be able to get another vehicle on up the other end. Manage the vehicles. let's just give me 2 extras. Okay, that's good. 2 extras. I probably want 1 more vehicle on here. There's 3 on there. Manage the vehicle. I'm going to be kind. Get an extra vehicle on there. That still leaves me money. I'm going to be getting an extra vehicle on here. $91,000. 4 on there is already taking it 27 seconds, 135 rate, which is massive. That's all we need for that thing. That'll be heaps. And look, we could probably put another vehicle on that, but I think I would really prefer them to be on here. I'd like 1 more on there, which means I could get 1 more vehicle on here. I could be kind, because if we get growth it means we get more passengers, right? Now I want this one here. That leaves us with 30,000. Want to get 1 more in here? Yeah. Oh, we can't. We're done. We're maxed out. So we've left ourselves with $30,000 in the bank. It's now time to press play, and we have to now manage everything. So let's just double check. Let's cross our T's and dot our I's. Right. I understand that this is a long episode already, but we're talking here, so that's fine. That's doing its thing to there. We've told you what you're doing. Okay, we've told you what you have to do. We've told you what you have to do. I haven't put the vehicles on there yet. Okay. Let's go. First up, you are going to be Bewdley Coal. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment of truth, the moment where it breaks us or makes us. Let's press play. Let's hit the turbos. We have to run at, we're running at a quarter speed. Now we go till November 10th, 1882. I want to see coal on the deck here. Yes. Okay, brilliant. My ships are here. You're heading for Upper Bewdley. That's brilliant. You're heading for South Bank. I'm going to get you to stop for a sec. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to get you to head to Upper Bewdley, but I'm just going to get you to hold outside here for a moment. Yes, this is brilliant. So that's working. Have we got grain on the deck here? Yes. Brilliant. Everything is working as we intended it to. We should have extra vehicles that are coming to join this area. We should have we've already got passengers waiting here. Okay. And just make sure that we've got our passengers waiting up we've got our buses heading here, which we do. Brilliant. Okay. So what we need to see here is the first train pulling in, and he's got 70 grain. When that train is making its loop back, we'll send the next one. The boats have just decided to do what they want. Okay, I'm going to get you to hold. I'm just going to let you go with 35 on. I'm going to get you to actually come back and turn back around, because I'm actually going to send you with the full load. And I'm going to keep you guys split apart. When our next train, so there's the passenger train right there. When our train rattles past here, down to about here, I'm then going to send the next train up. Right, how are we looking? You've got 35, turn around. Does it take a little bit to get bettered in? I probably could have got another vehicle on there, to be honest. Probably could have. Just stop for me. Okay, how much is on the deck here? 15. Our train's rolling around in there. Let's get our next train out. Off you go, buddy. Right, the trains are done. I'm going to keep an eye on that one. Can sit over here for us, and that one can sit there. And then you are going to pick up for me. come back. I'm hoping that I've got enough trucks on there. You've got a chance to come back, just pick up a little bit extra. And how are we doing here? Yes, we've got coal on the deck, team. We've got coal on the deck. What's going to happen is our train has pulled in and it's picked up all of that. Right, so it's not taking a full load yet. It's going to take a little bit for it to bed in, but I have a feeling we're going to be fine. How much have you got on deck now? You've got a full load of 70. So by the time this ship gets back around here now, is it the ship? Yes. We should see a full deck of 70 down here. I'm quite confident these guys are going to be enough to get the job done. We could have so many more trucks on there, by the way. Right, with everything done there now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut us back to November 10th, 1881. And from there, we've got one more year to go. So we're basically from, well, we're only in May of 1880. So we've got a long haul to go. We could check the scoreboard, but there's no point yet because everything's only just off and running now. So what we'll do, we know that this is working two ways. We're going to have a better understanding of how it's actually all working when we hit November 1881, when it's all bedded in properly and things are running as they're intended to be running. So what I'll do is I'll bring you guys back then. We'll have a look at a couple of things. We'll have a look at the lines and stuff, and then we'll actually go over why I have $1 million penalty, and I will show you what I did last time out, and it was a dumb mistake. It was a dumb mistake at that, and I'll take you guys through that. Okay, gang, so welcome back. We are in October 5th of 1881, almost November 1881, with 1 year to go up our sleeve after that. I thought I'd bring you back just quickly here. We're down near Northbridge, because this is where we did our first test. Remember, we did our lines, went from here to here, and we did the cheeky ships up and down. Well, one of the rules that we have to abide by is we can't use designated, basically resources that are designated to Calabria. Well, I stupidly didn't even realize that this stone mine here was a Calabrian quarry. Because it was so close to town, and because I just didn't even think about it, and it's just not a process that I think of ever, I used this stone mine to help fund my episode. So what it means is, and we all agreed, we all spoke, and that I would take $1 million penalty. I feel I got off very lightly. Everyone was very generous with it, but I take $1 million penalty going into this test. So that is why I take the $1 million, because I used this stone mine in episode, or in the first test. So basically I think of myself as disqualified from that test. Stephen won anyway, so it didn't matter. I just take a penalty into this round that we're doing today, which we're going to shoot up here now because it is November 22nd, just to see how our lines are doing now. Thankfully today we can see that our coal mine here is South Bank Coal Mine. Our grain here is South Bank Farm, so I don't have to worry. I haven't utilized any Calabrian resources in this run, so all I have to do is just at the end when we get our score, we just have to take that $1 million penalty off the top. So anyway, it is what it is. I made a mistake, and I will admit it single-handedly. I did it, my fault, and happy to take the penalty, whatever the penalty was, and that's what was decided in the end. All right, moving forward, let's check out what we're doing now. Basically, let's have a look at our lines first, right? So let's bring up our lines here. Now, I haven't set the balance. So we can see here the main line that we put in was always going to do pretty rough, right? We are taking a lot. Actually, it just popped out. So the main line's not doing too bad in terms of things. Our Bude Port Coal line down here looks like the first one we've got. No, the Bude main line. Okay, I'm not really worried about the pack stuff. What I'm worried about is more our coal transfers. So this is our wagons down here at Budley, and they're making pretty good click. Next up, we've got, what do we got? This one here bouncing around the place. The, that's Lutterworth. What do we want? SB Bude Port, SB Bude Port coal ships. They're doing all right. 171. They're contributing really well. Then we've got the SB Bude coal. No, we've got, crikey, they keep dropping in and out. Coal ships. Guys, what are you called? Bewdley Grain and Coal Train. That's why I can't look at it. I'm looking for South Bank. Here it is here. Right, here they are here. They're down here. My apologies for that. Crikeys. So here they are here. Bewdley Grain and Coal Train. They're ticking along at a reasonable rate. When they do land a good section, they can make some really good chuff, and they're losing what about 500k-ish, so about $500,000 at a piece, but they're still staying above in terms of income. I had to stop one for a little bit. You'll see a dip here in our profits. That's because I had to hold one up. They were actually on top of each other a fair bit. Actually, one had pulled in and the other one was just like here, and it wasn't giving enough time for our coal. So one of these trains does actually run with a full load of coal back, and the other one runs with about half a load of coal. And here it is here. It's this one here. What do we got to race in here? I could actually just hold you up. Stop. Hold you right there. Well, I'm going to stop you. And I'm going to get my ship in there. And I'm going to let you go again. Yep. And then I'm going to get my train here and let you go. All right? Cheeky, I know. There's our other coal train. It's already coming down. See, that's half the trouble. They're backing up, and it has to do with the wait times that come down in here in the station when we've got so many trains coming into these platforms, and they're having to reverse on wait. It's giving time for the trains to catch up down here. It's fine. It's a thing. It is what it is. That's really loud, that train whistling in my ear. But we're not doing too bad, right? We're making good crumpet right here. Remember, we had $30,000 in the account. Now, this is the rest of the map helping. Yes, it is. But we're making good crust at the moment. And I think our lines are doing pretty damn well, to be honest. And look at that. We're up in the top, and that's all we can ask for. That's all we can hope. It was always going to be a tough challenge today, especially with having to run a freight line. What's really impressing me is that this main line sometimes drops into the profit. So that's sort of helping things tick along as well. But anyway, that's the updates. That's why I'm taking a penalty today. So whatever score we end up with for our total value is what we have to take off at the end. Okay. Now, so I don't think there's anything else to do. It's April 22 of 1882. I will see you all when we're ready to pause the game on November 10th. All right, gang, it's October 5th, 1882. We've got a train full of coal here on the climb up, ready to try and get into Bewdley here so we can get this sold off before November. And it looks like it should, but it'll probably be the last trip and the last load that this train does actually make. Now, we don't have to worry about touching blue today. I know that was a funny little carry-on from last time out. We're touching plenty of blue, trust me, when it comes to today. But it will be good to see if we can make all our lines touch the blue and be in the blue by the time it gets to November. All right, unfortunately, that load of grain there is probably not going to make, well, October, November, no, it's October 26th. We've got November 10th. This train's not really going to make it all the way. Where's our other train, though? Oh, it's already dropped in. It's already made a drop. So that's unfortunately probably at November. Here we go. Let's slow down here. Third, fourth. We'll go to medium speed and get ready to pause here. We'll get another load of that in. What else have we got that we're sort of dropping in and out? This is all getting exciting. What else have we got that we're picking up? Anything? No, that's probably it for the big sort of sales that we're going to have. 8. Here we go. 9. November 10. Bang. Pause it right there. And the brilliant thing is we've made over $102 million, so we've helped contribute to that. So we've gotten the government back up in a positive, because the collaborating government did take $200 million out at the start and left us with $20 million, remember. All right, before we look at our scorecard, let's check out our lines and see where they ended. Well, that's not our line, is it? Wheat coal train. No, that's not our line. Okay, cool. I was going to say, oh, no, that's RB. All right. was going to say that one does do pretty well. It just drops in and out like a lot of lines do. My lines do it. Everyone's lines do it at this early stage. You always have lines that drop in and out of the red. It's just a thing. All right. So starting with our least one, actually our Cambridge bus line actually is in the positive. I don't think any of our lines are in the red. We're all touching blue. Okay. So first line, touching blue. Bewdley, touching blue. This is really impressive. The SB main line, touching blue, which I didn't think that was possible, but we must have done a really bang up job with that line. Bewdley Port, touching blue. This is good. I like the touching blue recap. Oh, my throat, it hurts to laugh. Next, we've got South Bank Bewdley coal ships. Did I miss the trains? Don't know where the trains are. Bewdley coal ships, touching blue. Really well for us. Okay. Where's our trains? Oh, here they are here. 693,000 touching the blue. All right. They're not touching the blue. They're punching the blue. All right. They're punching the blue. They're right up there, those trains. They're doing actually quite well. When they do land, that is. So really, really positive stuff there for our lines. We're a little bit cheeky with the fact that we had to send, basically we could just send the coal straight there, but we've sent the coal by a ship here. But the good thing is, if we look at this, we are actually producing fuel for South Bank. Now, remember how we put extra vehicles on here? Well, we probably could have had one more vehicle to help satisfy all of this, maybe even two. Actually, maybe even 4, because that's 40 in total plus 16 for the mail. But if we look here, we've significantly increased the amount of food we're delivering out, and we're also delivering fuel out there as well. So that's got South Bank. That's doing really well for us in the end. Okay, now make sure I don't hit play. The time has come where we see how much our company score is, or our company value is, basically, because this does determine the winner for this round. So drum roll, please. We have $216,253,223 minus that gives us 215 minus the 1 million, I should say, for the penalty, $215,253,223. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm quite excited to see what everyone else comes up with. This was by far a hard challenge. In fact, because I've been sick, I put myself on the back foot this week, being sick and not being able to talk much. I've even missed live streams because of it. And I've missed being able to make other content, and it's put me on the back foot. So I've actually spent a lot of days trying to figure out what I was going to do for this task. It's not an easy task. So good luck to all the other contestants. Make sure you go over and check out their episodes. Thank you to Stephen once again for providing us with this wonderful map and this series. I hope you all enjoyed this today. That's it, wrapped up in the books. That's all I'm doing. My head is about to explode with this challenge, but I've had enough of it. I'm ready to move on. So we'll see how the others went. Stay safe, stay glued to your screen. Please consider leaving a like. The likes help us all so much. Likes help get the content out to other people, and that's what we want to do. We want to share this wonderful game with everyone. All right, stay safe, stay glued to your screen. Get out of here.